Hi everyone, good evening, good morning or good afternoon, depending upon where you are in the world at the moment. We're going to be starting very soon with the how to perfect your elevator pitch webinar. We'll just give everyone just another moment or two just to get online. Now, if you have any questions during the webinar, I actually welcome questions. So what I want you to do is you'll see below the videos there that there is a box for you to sort of drop your name and email and fire off your questions. Send those questions through to me and I will address them as they come through. So we'll get started in just a moment or two. Okie dokie, let's get going. So let's talk about how you can perfect your elevator pitch. Oscar Wilde's summed it up perfectly. You don't get a second chance to make a first impression. This is why it's crucial for anybody, whether it's someone that's in business for themselves, someone that's selling on behalf of an organization, or someone that's just simply looking for a job. You need to make the right impression on the people that you want to influence and that you want to talk to. And the only way that you can get to talk to them is to make the right impression and demonstrate to them that you are worthy of furthering that conversation with, in terms of demonstrating to them that you have something of value, something of interest, and something that's worthy of them spending time talking to you, which is what makes the whole sense of an elevator pitch feel like it's walking a tightrope, because you want to give the person that you're talking to enough information, but you can't afford to give them too much because that will force them to shut down. So it's about the true balancing act, the balancing act of how much information do you give them, what information do you provide the person as you walk along this tightrope, and you've only got 20, 30, up to 60 seconds tops to make a positive first impression. And so that's what we're going to cover in the webinar tonight, is to sit there and say how you can make that right impression, how you can deliver an elevator pitch which hits the mark, which nails it. And so we'll go through tonight all the aspects that you need to cover in your elevator pitch so that you can be perfect, so that in the 20, 30 or 60 seconds, however long you have, you can nail your elevator pitch. But before we go too far into the webinar, I want to share with you just a little bit about my background. I've got a background in IT, so I spend a lot of time working with engineers, technical specialists, people that are traditionally not expected or not known for being great communicators. I've been in the industry now for approaching 20 years. In 2001, I was working for a consulting company on a client side, which was a large insurance company. The large insurance company decided that they'd had enough of the consulting company and sent them packing. As a result, I was back at the head office of the consulting company for about 6 weeks when they decided that they'd had enough of me sitting around waiting for the next client to come along. And so they pushed me out of the door. Now, this was just before Christmas. So it was about November, December time, 2001. And so here in Australia, December is not a great month to be looking for work because everyone's starting to think about Christmas. And then in January, it's summer holiday time. So all through December and all through January, I was going to the beach. I was playing golf. I was living the, how can we say, the high life. That was fine for me. I was having a great time. My wife, however, didn't think it was such a good idea. So she, at the end of January, enrolled me in a public speaking course. By the end of that course, it was an 8-week course. By the end of that course, I was back working, ironically, for the insurance company that had pushed out the consulting company. So I was back effectively working with the same people that I had been previously. What I noticed was that my communication skills were vastly superior to anybody else that I was working with. So you got to remember, these are people that I've been working with not more than 2 months previously. And all of a sudden I noticed that there was a big difference in my capabilities, in my skills. And it was the only difference was that I've been playing golf, going to the beach and doing a public speaking course. Now, out of those three, I think it's pretty clear that it's the public speaking course that made the difference. The result of my career was that all of a sudden I was starting to find myself getting given projects that were more exciting, more interesting. I was getting promotions and progressing through the ranks far quicker than the people that I've been on par with in December 2001. That's when it dawned on me the value of communication skills. And throughout the last 10 years, I've been working on polishing and refining and honing my craft, honing my skill, so that my communication skills have got better and better and better. And that's what's then triggered me to turn that into a business and start the Public Speaking Skills Academy, so that I can work with, whether it's technical specialists, engineers, or anybody across any field, to help them refine and develop and hone their public speaking skills. And obviously one of the key aspects of improving your public speaking skills is your elevator pitch, because it's generally, well, it's not generally, it is the first point of contact between you and a new employer, a new client, or a new customer. So let's talk about now how we can do that. Before we dive into too much detail, these are the 4 promises I'm going to give to you from this webinar. The information that I'm going to give you in this webinar will make a difference to you. There is not going to be any theoretical nonsense. This is all practical information. It's information that you can take, you can digest, and you can have a brand new elevator pitch ready for you in the morning, so that when you leave to head to the office, you head to your first client meeting, you will be able to have a new elevator pitch ready, honed, and polished if you want. Everything I'm talking about here is proven techniques. It's proven techniques, and it's techniques that I implement. I am not going to share with you something that I do not do myself. As a result, I'm promising here that I'm holding nothing back. There is nothing that's going to be in this webinar that you need to pay additional information for, you need to pay for. This is a no holds bar session. Everything I know, I will lay on the line for you. And if you have questions, send them through and I will answer those questions as well. And as I said at the bottom there, I'm here for you beyond this session. Email me, contact me, reach out, and I will happily help you. I will help you polish your elevator pitch. I'll help you hone your skills. This is not a one-shot deal. I'm here to help you and help you advance your communication skills so that you become a dynamic public speaker, someone who can become someone who influences and gets more clients or gets better jobs as a result. So let's have a quick look at some classical elevator pitch scenarios. When are you going to need your pitch? Well, there's the classic one-on-one meeting. Now, I've got here at a networking event, but it can be a one-on-one meeting that you bump into someone in on the street. You're talking to them in a queue at a shopping center. It's a one-on-one at a networking event, or it could be actually a one-on-one in an elevator itself. This is where the whole sense of an elevator's pitch comes from. Is that you've got the 20 to 60 seconds it takes for your elevator to get from the ground floor to the executive suite, to get your information out and to get asked in so that you can give more information. It also becomes applicable in group introductions. I've been to a number of networking events where every member of the audience or every person at the networking event gets the opportunity to introduce themselves. It could be for 20 seconds, it could be for 40 seconds. And that's where it's actually quite powerful, because that's where you are then taking your skills or taking your pitch and able to communicate it out, not to one person, but to a group. It could be to 10, it could be to 20 people. You don't know who else is in that group. And that's why it's important that you have a polished elevator pitch. And finally, a soapbox presentation. Now, the reason I've done and included this is that there are a number of networking events that I go to where they select out of the membership of the group 5 or 10 people to get up and pitch their business. Now, they give them 60 seconds. Now, that's a long time, but it's a short time. It's a long time if you have a well-rehearsed, well-honed, and well-polished elevator pitch, because you can cover a lot of ground in just 60 seconds. However, if you have a flabby, loose pitch, you don't know where you're heading, then all of a sudden that 60 seconds is short because you can't cover the information you want to cover in that minute. So I've included it here because it's a worthwhile scenario for someone that gets the opportunity to stand up and present their business for just 60 seconds to a room of 100, 200 people. That can be very valuable time spent getting an elevator pitch polished. What is the goal of your elevator pitch? Be honest. What do you normally expect to come from an elevator pitch? For the most part, most people seem to believe that they're going to get a sale from it. You are not going to get a sale. You are not going to get a new job. You are not going to get a promotion as a result of your elevator pitch. There is one single goal of your elevator pitch, and it's what I have on the screen there. Get a request for more information. You want your elevator pitch to be the trigger to someone to say, I'd like to know more, please. Please tell me more. Please come and explain that. Let's see how we can work together. If you are expecting anything other than that, you are being unrealistic. So be honest with yourselves. Don't have to be honest with me. Be honest with yourself. The elevator pitches that you've done to date, have they been to get a request for more information? Have they been there to set the intrigue factor? Or have they been there to set for a sale? And if it's been to try and get a sale, that's fine. It's not perfect. It's a mistake. But acknowledge that it is a mistake and that you're not going to sell someone your widget, your services, whatever it is you offer, your ability to do the job, the next rung on the ladder, in 60 seconds. If you can sell someone that, you're obviously not selling anything that's of true value or true benefit. What you're looking for from your elevator pitch for those 20 to 60 seconds that you're talking to someone is to get them to go, I want to know more about what you do, how you do it, what benefits, and how you can help me with whatever it is your product or service does. That is your sole aim, your sole goal with your elevator pitch. Now, before we dive into the structure and format of what a good elevator pitch looks like and what it should have, let's talk about what the problems are with most elevator pitches that you'll see in networking events today. Firstly, they create confusion. The other person, the audience, they listen to your elevator pitch, and at the end of it, they still don't know what you do or how you do it or what benefits you provide. Is that a symptom that you see when you're delivering your pitch? A confused audience, a confused look on the face? Or do you have a scenario where you've got no engagement? Your audience doesn't really buy into what you're saying. There's nothing in it for them that makes them want to go, I'd like to know more information. And ties then down to the intrigue factor. They've got nothing to hang on to, nothing that they go, that's interesting. I'd like to know more about that. And finally, does it leave you no avenue to advance the conversation? Are you shutting yourself off from potential partners, potential clients, because your elevator pitch is either over-explaining or under-explaining? And so it doesn't give anybody scope to ask you some questions, to find out a little bit more about you, what you do, and ways that you could possibly work together. If you see any of these symptoms in your elevator pitch, then pay real attention to the next couple of slides as we talk through them. Even if you don't see these symptoms in your pitches, I still want you to pay attention for obvious reasons, but you'll find opportunity through the coming slides and through the structure that we're about to talk through to advance and maybe enhance your elevator pitch. So let's talk about the framework. What I'm going to share with you over the rest of this webinar is a framework that you can use to structure your elevator pitch. And you'll see here it's in 3 parts. First of all, we'll talk about your elevator pitch is going to start with the problem you solve, or basically the pain experienced by your customers. Then you're going to talk about how you solve the problem before finally finishing up with a call to action / next steps. Now, before we dive into the detail of that, one last word of hesitation here. You want to be clear, as clear as you can be walking into a network event. What are your goals? Is it to find partners to joint venture with, or are you looking for potential clients? Do you know who's roughly going to be in the room? The better you know who's going to be in the room, the better you can tailor the pitch. Tailor what it is you say to meet their particular needs. And this will become a little bit clearer as we go through the slides. But I just want you to think about this in terms of saying, okay, well, do you have a pitch which is for potential joint venture partners? Do you have a different pitch for potential clients? Because each of those two groups has slightly different interests, slightly different needs, and it's going to alter the wording and alter the focus of what you target in on in the 60 seconds, for example. So just bear that in mind as we go through the next couple of slides. So let's start out. What are the pain points? And this is not your pain points. This is your customers' pain points. Why do they engage you? Why do they buy your services? Why do they buy your product? What are the pain points that you solve? Take, for example, let's have a look, Coca-Cola. Their pain point that they're solving at a base level is thirst. They want to solve someone's thirst. But there's also the element of cool, wanting to be the trendy, have the trendy drinks. So they're basically the pain points they're helping people solve is around helping people look cool while quenching a thirst. My pain points that I'm helping a customer solve is I'm helping them become more influential. Yes, I teach people to help people with their public speaking, but it's also about helping people become more influential, get more influence in the marketplace, more influence in the job market so that they can get more clients. That's the pain points, for example, that I'm working with. What are your pain points? What are your customers' pain points? Why do they engage you? What you want to do here is identify the biggest pain points, because there's going to be a range of pain points that your customers will engage you for. You want us to be able to, in this part of the elevator pitch, select what are the big issues. Select what's going to be the biggest pain points. For example, I was working with a couple of women, and I think they're going to be online tonight. Certainly one of them I know is signed up for the webinar, and I hope Angeline's online from Peer Business Consulting. But we were talking about how I was helping her with her elevator pitch, and it's all about just focusing in on what her customers' pain points were. Why were they engaging her? What was the benefits of engaging Angeline, so that she could then turn that, because she has and I'll give a little plug for you here, Angeline. She's got a 60-second soapbox presentation coming up at the New South Wales Business Chamber in a couple of weeks' time, and I know she is going to nail it, because she's putting the effort in now to make sure that it's a damn good elevator pitch, a good 60-second soapbox. But we were talking about what the big issues were, and then selecting out the ones that are going to pique the interest for the people that are in the room. You then move into how you solve the problem. And this again is it's the sizzle, not the steak scenario. You don't want to be telling people the mechanics of how you solve their problems. You want to sell the benefits of working with you. For example, the benefits of working with me would be that you get improved confidence, you get improved communication skills. And we do that through mentoring and through workshops, but the focus is not on you would work with me in a workshop or in a mentoring scenario. That's not what I would describe to you in an elevator pitch. I would describe to you that you're working with me, you'll get increased confidence, you will get increased influence. Is this helping get it clear? You're talking about selling the sizzle, selling the benefits, not the steak. Talking about the benefits, not the features. List out all of the features of your products, of your services, and then translate them into what the benefits are. And they're the words that you can focus in on in your elevator pitch. And think back to, why do the clients use you? Why do they use your products, use your services? Take the time to go through this and start to map it out. Now, this will feel like a little bit of effort up front, and it is, but it's going to be effort well spent, because you only potentially need to find one client that gets their interest piqued through your elevator pitch for even a day's worth of work to be invested in doing it right. This is the kind of investment and the reward we're talking about here. Depending on how big your clients are and what their traditional spend is, you're going to see that you only need to have a small return on investment, a small number of clients that you can trace back and say, well, this is because I spent the time and I got their interest at the networking event, in the elevator, at wherever, because you'd had a well-honed and a well-crafted elevator pitch. It is worth the time, it is worth the money to spend getting this right. And finally, a call to action. You've got to be clear here. What do you want them to do next? Do you want them to refer potential clients? Are they a potential client? Do they know people who might be clients? Or are they a potential joint venture partner? Are they someone that you might want to partner up with to put together a unique product, a unique service offering that you can take to market? Are they someone that can point you in the direction of getting the next job? Do they know someone who knows someone that can help you climb the next rung on the career ladder? Be clear about what kind of person or what you're looking for out of that networking event, out of that communication, that conversation. Don't be shy here. Make it clear and don't hold back. People are not mind readers. They're not able to guess what you want. So don't be afraid to have a clear statement that says, I am looking for potential clients in such and such market. I am looking for a particular type of joint venture partner. Whatever it is, be clear, because you can then work with that person, because they will hopefully know someone or know of someone who can help you. So be clear about what it is you want. And that comes back again to my original statement earlier on about knowing who is in the room and what's your intent out of the networking or out of that scenario and situation that you're putting yourself into. People don't generally just walk down the street doing elevator pitches. They are looking to meet targeted people, whether it's at a networking event or they're intentionally chasing down an executive to share the elevator with them. Whatever that scenario is, there's obviously a purpose behind it. This is where you then bring that purpose and have that clear call to action. In, for example, the 60-second soapbox scenario I was describing earlier with Angeline, Angeline needs to be clear on what she wants people to do at the end of her 60 seconds. What is she after in terms of, does she want clients? Does she want joint venture partners? Who is she looking for, so that she can then speak to the room and attract those people towards her, which is, again, the whole reason, the whole existence of a networking event. Now let's talk here, and we'll finish up on delivery, because it's the crucial aspect of an elevator pitch. You can have the best crafted elevator pitch, but if you fumble the delivery, you're not going to instill confidence in the person you're speaking to. And at that point, they're not going to buy into whatever products or services you're offering, because they're going, well, if Mark doesn't have the ability to communicate confidently, how do I know that he's going to deliver any kind of services or products with any kind of skill or expertise? And that applies not just to me in the public speaking domain, or it applies to anybody in any domain. If your dentist won't make eye contact with you, are you going to open your mouth willingly and let him put a drill in there to start drilling your teeth? Unlikely. So it doesn't matter what domain or what area you work in, you need to be able to deliver your elevator pitch confidently and polished. And how can you polish it? Well, first, let's start with a basic smile. Your whole reason for delivering an elevator pitch is to get intrigue and get people to want to know more. If you're frowning, you're going to look depressing. If you look depressing, people aren't going to want to talk to you anymore. So let's turn that frown around, make it a nice big smile. Look like you're enjoying the delivery of your elevator pitch. That'll create a level of warmth in your face. It creates warmth in your delivery, and people will want to then engage with you just a little bit more. You also want to make strong eye contact. Look the person, or if you're talking to a group of people, look around and look the people in the eye. Make it clear. Demonstrate to them that you're confident. So you've got a strong stance. You look around the room and maintain eye contact with them. Speak clearly and loudly. You want to be, in a networking event in particular, it can be very challenging to hear because you've got a number of background conversations all going on. You've got drinks, you've got generally clinking of glasses, of plates. There's an activity and a humdrum that's across the room. You want to be making sure that in your conversation that the other person can hear you. If they're struggling to hear you, they're not going to be able to pay attention to the words you're saying. They're going to be trying just so hard just to listen to you. Their focus and attention is just diverted, which is not what you want. You want their full attention, full engagement to be on the words you're saying and how you're saying it. And don't make them have to apply effort to hear you. So speak clearly, speak loud enough to be heard, and make sure you enunciate and articulate your words properly so that it can be clearly understood. And finally, don't use notes. This is probably my biggest bugbear when I've been to networking events and I see small business owners in particular. And it's not just small business owners, it's even sales teams. This is to be in front of a networking event. It's bread and butter. It's what you do to grow your business. Your business and your income source is your livelihood. It's something you've got to be passionate about. It's something you've got to be proud of. It's something you should know on a daily basis, what you do and how you do it. Yet when I see small business owners in particular step up, take the opportunity to put themselves in front of 100, 200 people at a networking event, deliver a 60-second pitch on their business, and they don't know it off by heart. It should be something that comes from the heart. It shouldn't come off a bit of paper. They should know what they do. So that when they use the notes, they then restrict their ability to make eye contact. It impedes their ability to speak clearly because rather than talking out to an audience, they're more often than not, because they don't know how to deliver a speech or deliver anything with notes effectively, they're speaking to a bit of paper. So all of a sudden, 2 out of those 3 things, 2 out of those 4 points are already crossed out because they're using notes. Then their ability to smile, well, if they're nervous enough to be using notes, that demonstrates that they're not comfortable. And if they're not comfortable, they're not smiling. So all of a sudden, you see all of these delivery aspects all knocked out because of the use of notes. And it's a use of notes when it shouldn't be required, if I'm blunt. If as a small business owner, you can't articulate what you do and how you do it from the heart and from memory, then I think you need to work harder at it, because it's a one-on-one conversation. I'm sure that if I walked up to you in the street and said, what do, you could describe it to me. A networking event where you're talking to 10, 20, 100 other people, it's no different. So you shouldn't need to use notes to tell me what it is you do on a daily basis and how well you do it and what value you can provide for me and for everyone in the room. So please have a look at these delivery notes, because it can make the world of difference and how your potential joint venture partners, your potential clients, your potential referrals will view you, because you've delivered a good elevator pitch, but you've delivered it confidently and you delivered it with poise. Now, it's only a short webinar tonight. I want to thank you for taking the time for joining us, but I do want to give you an offer. For those of you who are on this live webinar tonight, I want you to email me your elevator pitch. For the first 5 people that can get through and email me, I'll happily sit down and review your pitch. If you've got it scripted, send me the script. If you've got a video of you delivering the pitch, I'll review the video and give you some feedback. I want to help you. I want you to have a polished and perfect elevator pitch. So please take the time to quickly, if you don't have your script ready right now, drop me an email and say it's coming, and I will put you there on the list as one of the first 5. Just get it through to me now and let me know that you want to get your elevator pitch polished up, and I will work with you over the coming days and weeks to get your pitch perfect. So please take this opportunity to get your pitch refined and polished up. If you have any other questions, if there's anything else you want to know, please don't hesitate to contact me. I want to be there to help you. I want to be there to help you. I want you to have a polished elevator pitch. So like I say, email it through to me to mark@publicspeakingskillsuniversity.com. If you've got the video, send me the link. We can work together and I will happily help you deliver a polished presentation. So if you have any questions, you have any issues, any areas that haven't been covered, anything you'd like me to cover in future webinars, shoot me an email, keep in contact, join me on the Facebook page, join me on the website, join me on the blog, join me wherever. I want to work with you, help you develop your confidence, develop your influence, and become someone who is more influential and gets more clients, better job promotions, all thanks to improved communication skills. Thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you for next month's webinar. So if you want to find out the details of that, join my email newsletter, which you can do off my webpage at publicspeakingskillsuniversity.com. Otherwise, keep an eye out, and I will see you at a future webinar in about 3 to 4 weeks' time.